Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tech Frenzy. In today's video, we have a lot to talk about. In fact, it's going to be an extended episode, as not only do we end up talking about rate cuts and SOFI and Robinhood and many other businesses that are going to be great beneficiaries of what we ended up seeing today. But if I'm not mistaken, at 8 o'clock today, we also have the Meta Connect keynote. So if people want to stick around, then I'll also be listening to that. That should be roughly 50 or so minutes at 8 o'clock. So then we'll just transfer this live stream over to Meta Connect and listen along there. Obviously, you guys might know my stance on Meta and some of the bigger names is that they are some of the fastest growing businesses while also having extremely high margins and existing businesses that help them pay for artificial intelligence and many of the innovations that are coming later on. So big believer in those names. Meta's not one in my portfolio, but I do want to follow along in their progress. So I will be staying live for that. We'll just be pulling that up, but we'll have a good hour or so to talk about everything beforehand. All the information that I'm hoping for. But ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly pull up SOFI stock, as it was quite an interesting day. The rate cuts ended up bringing in a 25 basis point cut, raising SOFI stock, actually bringing it green. Then a massive crash, which was quite surprising. Then increase as people got through the report. Then a big crash as the JPOW started talking. And then at the end, people said, hey, you know what? This is actually just relatively dovish. And then ended up doing, still down 1%, but not as bad as where we were, in the depths here, back down to nearly $26 per share. Now, overall, the market can react pretty irrationally to what just ended up happening. But the truth is, and we'll go through some of the effects of what just happened today, is that this is great for SOFI. And it stems from a couple different things. We'll talk about the other companies that also benefit. It won't just be about SOFI today. But essentially, because SOFI is a bank, we also have deposits, and everyone talks about who can offer deposits at a higher rate. Oh, Robinhood has 4%, SOFI has 3.8%. But on the opposite side of just what rate that is and the benefit to the consumer, someone has to pay that out. And so deposits for a bank are actually a liability. Those are costs to the bank, and because they're paying it out, right? So if you look at the JP Morgans and the more legacy mega cap banks, that they are actually paying out near 0% for a lot of their checking and savings account products because they're trying to maximize their margin on their loans. Overall, it's good for them if people want to stick around. The hope is that people will smarten up, not realize that they don't deserve to be paid nothing, and switch to a company that's willing to pay them something that those deposits are actually worth. Okay. Whenever rates come down, this brings down the risk-free rate of treasuries and many other types of not commercial paper, but if you're talking about commercial paper in the form of Apple or something like this, like those types of rates can be much lower risk than other types of bonds, right? Or junk bonds, stuff like this. Anyway, as rates come down, the average rate of risk-free treasuries end up coming down with it. That ends up forcing SOFI and all of these other companies that would use those fundings for, either lending out or short-term treasuries to end up lowering their amount that they're paying out in their checking and savings account products. That ends up saving SOFI money. That's benefit number one. Okay. Number two is that because the average coupon rate of all these loans across the industry are going to start coming down because there's a certain threshold of money that these banks need to make in order to fund their business. If the bottom rung, which is cost of funding, ends up falling, then that means that they, to stay competitive, drop their pricing on what they might charge for a mortgage, a personal loan, a credit card, what have you. So then all of the coupon rates for loans end up falling. So if you go to an insurance company, a pension fund, a hedge fund, something like this, that might want some form of fixed income product like loans on their balance sheet so then they can, collect premiums that are steady and reliable. Well, the loans that they could have gotten previously would have been at a higher coupon rate, higher interest rate that they were receiving versus if they were to write it after this interest rate cut. That would now fall by, somewhere in the lines of 25 basis points or 0.25%. So a bunch of insurance companies and pension funds that want the old rate that can no longer write for those types of rates will go to SoFi and say, hey, do you guys have any more of those old loans? They're itching and hey, do you guys have any more of that good stuff? That really high APY or APR loans for us that we can end up getting a higher coupon rate? We'll pay you a little bit more because we want that extra 25 basis points. Now, we're not going to pay you 25 basis points, but maybe we'll pay you 15 basis points or something. And then that additional spread is theirs to keep. So for the new loans or for the existing loans that SoFi ends up having, they actually are worth more now in a newer, lower interest rate environment. Okay. That's very good for the amount of loans that SoFi sells. The interesting part is that what the Federal Reserve ended up coming out and saying is that not only did they just do 25 basis points worth of cuts, but they can almost confirm that they're going to do an additional 50 basis point cuts through the end of the rest of the year. So potentially a 25 basis point cut in October, and then another 25 basis point cut in December. This means that those pension funds and, insurance companies and everything that want that rate not only realize that if they go out and buy SoFi's loans today, that they're going to be worth more, versus the loans that can be written tomorrow, but that even, a few months ahead, the new loans that will be written in January of 2026 will be essentially 75 basis points lower than where they are today. Okay. And they know that the cost of funding for, their ability to find more money in order to buy more of these loans will actually be at a lower rate. It'll be a lower cost for them to borrow in January of 2026. So they can almost, in a way, refinance their own way of going out and acquiring these loans. So the hunger in capital markets for SoFi's loans are going to be very, very high. That's very good. The second leg of why it's very interesting for SoFi, and not just SoFi, but markets in general, equities in general, is that there's a lot of money on the sidelines, okay? In money market funds, purchasing up these treasuries and really low risk, bond products, fixed income products. And as rates come down, especially knowing that there's going to be 75 basis points coming for the rest of the year, that the rate that they've been receiving, maybe that 4.5%-5% rate is no longer what it's going to be going forward. In fact, there might be a continuous or decrease in the coupon rates for new treasuries that end up getting signed if people believe that, for the duration of those bonds, that rates will be lower during that time. Okay. So this essentially signals that the investors that are looking for a certain rate will need to chase higher and higher risk products. A lot of them, what we usually see is that as rate cuts come in, not only does this benefit corporate activity by lowering the cost to borrow, not only do we get lower cost to borrow, mortgages potentially get better rates, people get lower cost on their credit cards, stuff like this, but then also corporations get that as well. Meaning, if they want to go buy a new factory or have huge equipment spend or something like this, that they can actually get a loan that might cost them less. Every little cut allows more and more companies to find that within their budget. Okay. Meaning corporate results, revenue down to net income increase. Every cut in interest rates also just allows for, better net interest income if the liability side, the cost of funding, ends up falling, meaning margins improve. Okay, so we're adding essentially fuel to this, corporate growth engine on top of blockchain and artificial intelligence. And then you have the big money market piles of cash where people are essentially saying, hey, you know what? I was getting real used to that rate. I'm no longer seeing that, and that's expected to continuously fall. I'm going to leave this and put some more of my assets into the actual equities markets, expanding the multiple, putting more money in riskier plays because they're chasing a yield. Okay. Now, that might not go directly into SoFi's hands or NVIDIA. It might go to dividend paying companies or REITs or something like this. But then maybe some of the REIT investors that might find that at too high of a multiple end up flowing. It all flows down into riskier and riskier assets. So this is great for the financial names, for one, but generally companies that have a lot of spend and a lot of debt in general, and that's going to be the big names and the big, Meg 7 names as well, but financials for sure. SoFi, Robinhood, Upstart, Lending Club, Affirm, Klarna, Chime, all of these businesses that either have some form of lending out to do, many of the names that I ended up listing, very much so. And then the other list of names is more on the investment side, right? If there's higher multiples, more activity in stock markets, Robinhood's going to do well. Margin is going to do well if the interest rates are being lowered, okay? So these 50 basis point cuts for the rest of the year, guys, I'm super excited. like we ended up showing off yesterday, since 1980, the times where we ended up seeing a rate cut within 2% of an all-time high on the S&P 500, 100% of the time that the S&P 500 was higher 12 months from where the rate cut first happened in that year. Okay, I'll take it. I don't know. So, did you see the PayPal news? Are you talking about the PayPal Google news? Because I did see that. It's in my notes. But I really couldn't care less about it. It wasn't all that exciting to me. I mean, it's good, but it's not changing the thesis on the name. If there was another piece of news that just came out, please let me know. But yeah, this is everything that we wanted. This is everything that SoFi investors wanted. This is what fintech investors wanted. Big tech, AI, companies with lots of debt. Does not hurt to get rate cuts. What else? Open door investors are happy. Companies that give out margin, the investors of that like to take a lot of leverage out will be very excited. I wanted this? Yes. Well, I think you would. Depends on what you're holding, but if you're an investor in SoFi, yes, we were hoping for rate cuts. SoFi, in fact, I actually ended up tweeting this out. They had in their assumptions for 2025. This was at the beginning of the year. Our assumptions are as follows as interest rate outlooks. Consistent with our forward curve, just north of 1.5 rate cuts, meaning in 25 basis point chunks. Okay, so he's not talking about 1.5%. Some people got confused on that. He's saying anywhere between 25 to 50 basis points with just north of that. So they think more likely two cuts of 50 basis points total than 25 basis points. What we ended up seeing essentially, we saw one, but now they're talking about doing two more, and that there's a high chance that that's going to go through. GDP expansion of 1% to 2%. We're at 1.6% right now, expected for full year of 2025 from the Fed. And normalization of unemployment at 5%. I think we just showed off an expectation of 4.6%. Okay. So either conservative or in line with expectations from SoFi. So what does that mean? Well, the revenue, the member counts, the growth, the cost of fund, everything that they do to judge what, top line growth will be like all the way to bottom line growth is based on these projections. If we see more rate cuts, they can accelerate growth. If they see, lower unemployment, they can assume maybe less defaults on their loans. And the scale continues. So I would assume and I posted a video about this today, that we are going to see the greatest quarter by a long shot for Q3 of 2025. And I mean the greatest quarter we've ever seen by a long shot. Along with raised guidances, because now they have more interest rate clarity. And time is also going to prove that as well, right? You're trying to judge out what 2025 will be back whenever it's December of 2024. You have to bet what you think the next 12 months is going to look like. By Q3, at the end of Q3, to judge what the full year of 2024 will look like, you're already 9 months through, and by the time they actually do the quarter, they will already be through October. So they're only guessing 2 months worth of data. So they'll be very sure, but even in SoFi's history, they will still be conservative, and then we will still beat those earnings once again for Q4. Cheers. Michael says, already priced in. I think to some degree, 25 basis points worth of cuts was already priced in. The market, to some degree, was pricing in 3 rate cuts for the full year, but that was at like a 35% chance. A 35% chance of 3 rate cuts by December. Let's just go ahead and take a look what that's expected to be now. We are now at a 80% chance. So no, I would not say that this has been priced in. And even then, if we do get 3 basis point cuts, there's still 20% outstanding that is, quote unquote, not priced in. Not saying that there's a 20% upside. I'm saying the chance of 3 rate cuts. People, like, once they see that the majority pick is 3%, they go, oh, that's priced in. Like, no one's pricing the chance that that doesn't happen. But it does. And people will be conservative and not invest if they think that there's a 48% chance of that there's not 3 rate cuts by that point or something like this. So just because something is the majority doesn't mean that it is fully in the numbers. SoFi integration of its AI chatbot Connecta, powered by Galileo, is more than a tech upgrade. SoFi's Connecta now puts banking chatbots in the spotlight by SoFi for the community portfolio. Piyush, absolutely, my friend, will do. Dookie's here, just updated her membership, doing again the next day. Awesome, thanks for your attention. And any predictions on where SoFi is going on Friday? Zero predictions of where it goes on Friday. I'm surprised that we even closed down after this news. There can be, buy the rumor, sell the news type events. That's perfectly fine. But the way that I invest is not betting on that type of short-term sentiment. This news is not nice to have. It's a complete game changer. Okay? This does change SoFi's fundamentals to the upside. People can say it's priced in, it's not, whatever. That's irrelevant to me. I'm looking at this company in a very long-term perspective. And the fact that we still have a PEG ratio that's under 1 times, essentially, is saying to me that this is not priced in for where this company is truly expected to go. Okay? So I'm not here to trim and try to make quick trades. I'm trying to buy a generational company that benefits from these tailwinds, and I just saw a massive one. So very, very happy. Quad witching this week. Yeah, I heard. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'll let the options markets fight it out. Perfectly fine. Okay. D-Local is up nice after hours. Let's go take a look at that. I mean, yeah. 1469, it's up 0.6% or 0.69, or sorry, 0.82% now. Thoughts on NVIDIA right now? So this is definitely a very important name. By the way, one thing's for sure, rate cuts greatly benefit companies like NVIDIA. Greatly. Okay. It's a massive expense to pour out a ton of capital to purchase, NVIDIA. So whether this is in the form of writing shelf offerings, true just debt with a bank, preferred share, like there's so many different ways to do this to try to acquire enough capital to be to buy the products that NVIDIA has to offer. And I don't mean a single, GB300 NVL72 like rack system. I'm talking about like, okay, how do we build 100 megawatt data center for our startup, something like this? Or how do we go out and buy the the capacity needed from AWS to Google Cloud, whatever? Well, that whenever rates come down is much more beneficial because that's going to cost them less. This just puts fuel on everyone's fire. Okay. It's really great. Like the idea of interest rates in general is to cool down markets whenever things are going too fast, that they say, hey, let's slow down the hiring. Let's slow down how much capital you're using. Let's slow down the amount of leverage that you have in the books. And let's just take a chill pill. Whenever you are lowering interest rates, you're saying, okay, let's speed it up. Let's get a little bit more aggressive because they're worried about labor markets, right? If people are losing their jobs, hey, let's stop that, okay? Let's continue to hire. Let's push a little harder because you can afford it because we're saving you on your interest rate. So, great for NVIDIA. Now, probably more about what you're more directly pointing to is the China news. Okay. Let's see where I put that. Where did I put that thing? Maybe I didn't save the link, but essentially, China has been telling their large internet businesses to say, hey, you know what? Do not deal with NVIDIA. Try to deal with homegrown businesses or other businesses and not buy those chips. It's not illegal, but it's frowned upon. Not great, okay? Fully aware. Now, there's two schools of thought. One, this is not in their guidance. It's perfectly fine. But then two, obviously, we all know it's not a part of their guidance, but people were still hoping for it on the upside, that China would come back and that would add to their total sales. So there's, NVIDIA's number, there's Wall Street's number that goes out to customers, and then there's that whisper number, which is like, hey, this is what we're going to, not tell our customers, but this is what we truly are hoping for, okay? That number is impacted. The number that people were truly hoping for with China sales coming back, that number is going to get impacted by this. Overall, I'm not buying for a single quarter or a single year for NVIDIA. This is a long-term bet that we are in an environment where, we're going to see a lot more purchasing because AI is very long-term. Let's look at Lisa Su, talk about what she believes is going to happen, not for the short term, but in a little bit more of a long-term manner for what an AI build-out might look like.
Like I've spent a lot of time in the technology business. I would say that we're probably on a massive 10-year cycle in terms of AI technology and AI build out, and we're probably 2 years into it. So we're still in the very early innings. Like I've spent a lot of time.
So if this is a 10-year build out, and she's spent or she's saying we're 2 years into it, am I going to worry about what China is advocating for their larger tech companies to do right now? I'm not so sure I'm too worried. Now, does this suck? Yeah, it's not the most bullish news. I don't think it gets us to 250 if these types of retaliatory actions keep coming out. I said whenever the ban came in, there were so many people, the quote unquote patriots of the chat, that just say, oh no, you know what? China or America needs to stand up against China and not sell our products to them. Like that's like the most un-American thing ever. No, let's sell the products to them. That's what we do best. Okay. And we will own the tech stack because America designs and manufactures the best products the world could find. That's what I would prefer to. I'm not even Canadian, or I'm not even American, and I want America to win. I don't want, Google China to be what I'm running this entire stream on. No, I want American YouTube to run this stream. Okay. So, with that being said, I think the ban in the first place was a terrible idea. I said it from the start, and now we're seeing all the retaliatory action that's coming from that ban that I had advocated so strongly on, being against. The same thing, by the way, which Donald Trump said was a risk to national security and everything, and all these extreme reasons that we cannot absolutely sell to China. They're going to get a hold of the chips, pick them apart, rebuild them as if they don't already have at least one GB300 or any form of NVIDIA chip switch or product at all where they could pick apart and try to learn. But they're trying to buy them in mass. And then once it was a national security threat, okay, that's the stance that you're taking. But then he goes, oh, well, I mean, it's not a national security threat if you pay us 15%. Huh? How does that make sense? So our security comes at a price, or like, how does that work? I don't get it. So no, I thought that was big old BS. We probably should never have, stopped selling to China in the first place. Yes, China's extremely good engineers and builders, and they could absolutely, fight against NVIDIA on a per product basis. It might not be today, but the people who are saying that'll never, ever happen is crazy. I think Chris Patel said something interesting on his stream recently where he said, what's that saying? I don't remember the saying. Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, that. China's not going to throw the keys in because they don't have NVIDIA chips. They're going to try to figure it out. If you had to start a portfolio at current prices, what 5 stocks would you pick? It depends. I mean, we're two different people. Long-term portfolio, I think you could honestly comfortably, like if I only had to pick 5 stocks, I would probably pick like 5 of the Mag 7 names, potentially. Maybe I might rotate out for some select names at a time, but without any timeline or anything like this. At these prices, I think it's still so prudent that people end up looking at, Google, Amazon, NVIDIA, stuff like that. Meta, probably. Maybe BMNR. Chris Dance Media says, Timeline Tanner. I know, I cannot be stopped. What are your thoughts on Meta? I'm going to have a lot more thoughts on Meta after Meta Connect, which I'm pretty sure is at 8 o'clock today. No? It's either today or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's today. I know the dev event was September 17th at 8 p.m. We're going to listen to Mark Zuckerberg probably announce some new display versions of their Meta Ray-Ban products, where you can actually see a HUD through your Ray-Bans. That seemed to have been leaked already. Water break? I could use one, June. Thank you. Okay. Let's, you can order the future. I mean, I will. Except mine will be prescription. How many Zuckbucks? You guys are asking me like I've already watched the keynote. I don't know. I just saw the leak of the video of the display glasses. I'm sure many of you guys have already. if you haven't, I mean, we can look it up here, but Meta Ray-Bans. Yeah, it was this. This was the leaked video that I think they'll end up showing off today. So, you know, a little bit like what we ended up seeing from Android Glass or whatever it was called before. Android XR. Could be fun. Ray-Ban is owned by a huge European conglomerate. Yes. But they are working very closely with Meta. Would you wear those, Tanner? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a man of the future, okay? I'm not an old soul. I like technology. I buy a new phone, new computers, iPads, what have you. You know, and I'll get the new cool glasses. I'm hip and cool like that. No, I'm only going to buy it if it's useful. I'm not going to buy it if it's not. Like, I haven't purchased the Meta Ray-Bans yet because they're useless. But if they get better, you know, I'm definitely not opposed to wearing a camera on my face. And like, if I can ever like live stream it to YouTube while I go to like events or whatever, I mean, that would be so sweet. For over $800 though. But then again, I do buy expensive watches to tell time. Yeah, I mean, it's relative to what you want, I guess. Okay. If it tells me everyone's name, I'm in. Matt, like 100%. Can you imagine someone tells you their name and then it just updates like a name tag over them? I couldn't. That would be so amazing. And it just remembers those people's faces, puts it in your contacts. They just verbally tell you their number and it just saves. You don't have to do anything. I'm telling you, like, these are the types of products that will come out with artificial intelligence that no one's thinking about right now. You know, and I cannot wait for those types of products. Oh, you know what? After this event, let's get together for some drinks. I know a great place, whatever. It just all saves as they're telling you that information. You guys can have that idea. Go make a startup and get bought out by Meta. Okay. I don't want it, but I might buy it from you, which is so funny because I remember like Amit said like, oh, there should be like, you know, clothing line for stocks or whatever. And then I got like DM'd from this brand new business that was like doing ticker symbol clothing or something. And they were like, hey, you want a SOFI shirt? And I was like, no. But so one of you guys go take it and run. Okay. The market is ripping in after hours. Is that an appropriate use of ripping? Let's see. 0.35%. I mean, hey, yeah, it is it's definitely quite the shoot up in after hours, that's for sure. But yeah. Okay. For those that didn't end up seeing the rate cut summary, essentially the Fed did cut by 25 basis points, which was the first time in 2025. Okay. They also assumed that we're going to get 50 basis points of additional cuts. So 2 more cuts in 2025. This was not everyone on the board that was assuming that. It was, I think, 9 people said a 50 basis points. There was, I think, 6 people that said no more cuts. So it's not everyone is in favor of 50 basis points, but the majority is, you know, the important number, at least for now. There was only one individual that ended up dissenting in favor of 50 basis point cuts today, but that doesn't really matter. And yeah, the Fed says downside risks to employment have risen, and that they're shifting focus to the labor market. I think everyone that did end up going through and listening to that today, that was sort of the big takeaways. Okay, then there was this also quite popular post from Bill Gurley, who is a venture capitalist, that says, now seems highly probable that a new payment alternative emerges in the United States, replacing credit and debit cards on top of stablecoin rails. Just too damn efficient and cheap. Good riddance, as they say. Who do you think is most likely to emerge as the new consumer payment app player? Now, people pointed this out because he actually suggested that SOFI might be one of those names. They said, wow, you know what? SOFI is actually getting enough credit here that, like, that's how you know that they're growing their brand awareness. It's not the first time that Bill Gurley's brought up SOFI before. He's definitely close to this business to some degree. He talks about them, decently enough. However, I'm surprised by the amount of people that think. Now, I don't think that he's separating these businesses by these actual company names. I think what he's separating them in is, do you think that the mega tech companies are going to own the next payment rails? Do you think that it's the very specific fintech, like solo players? Do you think that it's the actual crypto companies that are building the rails today, or do you think it's someone completely new? That's the way that I saw it. And as you can see from this check mark where I voted, I do believe that the companies that are focusing wholeheartedly on payments and payment tech, they are going to win it over Apple, Amazon, Google, and Meta. The same way that companies that have wholeheartedly spent their time trying to make, Spotify music compete against those, or Shopify compete against Google or Amazon commerce, or, Meta stores and all of these things. The companies that have one wholehearted goal usually beats the ones that are trying to manage many, many, many departments. Some could say that the payment rails of the future probably deserve to be even more heavily focused to Circle or Tether, but I think they have enough just balancing their balance sheets, let alone trying to build the payment rails of the future. Maybe they do, but I think that it lies between these two names. I think that SoFi, Robinhood, and Coinbase, these types of names, have a very good stranglehold on being the real companies that set up something in the future, especially companies like SoFi or Coinbase, because they really do have payment infrastructure that's existing, and it's a big part of their name. All right. BMNR is ripping. Let's take a look. I saw it at 58 something last time I checked. 58.98. Hey, I mean, we're going to be at 59. It was the only stock that I ended up purchasing during the Fed meeting to buy the dip. And I think I was able to get it somewhere around here, like 54. I could actually check. Regardless, I think that there is a big movement here. People are loving the BMNR name, the Tom Lee name, and believing that Ethereum has much higher to go. In fact, if we actually take a look, let's see if I can bring up this post. Just a screenshot that I ended up taking, so it's not going to look like most of the things that we take a look at on this channel. But this is the stablecoin supply that we end up seeing that is minted per chain. Okay. On the top, you have Ethereum, which has been growing like gangbusters. And in fact, one of the biggest chains for stablecoins was Tron. And if you look at the last couple of ticks here in most recent months, it actually looks like it's been decreasing in its market share, probably peaking somewhere around June, or maybe this is July. And then in the last 2 months has been decreasing. Ethereum has just been skyrocketing. And not only that, Ethereum actually has 2 tags on this list, as Base is also here. in the dark blue. So adding just a little bit extra. I think it's about $4 billion, $4.6 billion, something like this, on the amount of stable coins on Ethereum L1 or L2s in general. Tanner, why did I say that? The meta event is in 30 minutes. Do you want to stream it together? I was going to stream. I don't know how to merge them now. I wasn't going to turn off this stream. So maybe next time. I don't know how we can end up putting it together. But yeah. It's going to be freaking exciting nonetheless. I'm pretty excited. 20 minutes now. Which, let's bring that up. Which also, why do you guys have to do it on Facebook? I mean, come on. It's going to be freaking silly that it's on Facebook. Who like, I like Meta, but who actually uses a lot of their products as much as maybe you would hope? Because I don't use it. He's saying it's there? Okay. All right. All right. Amit's probably live right now and still helping out my channel. This guy, like, he just does IT support constantly for me. It's great. Okay. Yeah, it is. 17 minutes till the Meta Connect event. Tanner, that was racist. How's that racist? Go to your own chat, bro. You're just always helping. Okay, let's see. I do use WhatsApp, but they're probably not getting as many dollars. Indian IT support. I didn't say anything about him being Indian. I'm just saying he's a good multitasker. It's more racist to assume that I was being racist than you're the one that associated that, not me. It's your bad brain that's associating those things. Okay. Also, how is he listening to me right now? Do you have your my stream pulled up on your stream, or are you listening to me while you're talking to your audience? What are you doing? How are you doing this? Or is he not, or is he going live later? Oh, he's not live. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm freaking excited. If the display on the glasses is really good, I'm going to be buying it if it comes with contacts and everything. But we've already seen that it has in previous versions. If not, hey, perfectly fine. I will wait till the next version. But this is the interesting part about tech is like everyone looks at the first version of like the Meta Ray-Bans, goes, I'm not going to buy that. That's not, doesn't have a lot of use cases to it. Or even the Apple Vision Pro, where it has, one or two use cases. And then you go like, hey, it's not like super useful. It's like, bro, it will get better. I'm not even a big Apple fan, but I know that like the, Apple Vision Pro 2 or 3 even is going to be so much thinner, so much lighter, way more use cases. That's just technology. It's inherently deflationary. You get more, the more you end up building, like the more chips that you end up building for those types of products, the more displays that you end up building for the Vision Pro, the cost goes down, which means that they can sell more for cheaper. It's just what happens. Sorry if this was already covered, but what are your SoFi price predictions? Well, I don't have too many. I think the one that I constantly bring up is in 4-quarter prints from now. I hope to see that, SoFi will be at $40 or $45 per share. That's the hope. But yeah. Tanner, do you have a timeline for that? Oh, I'm timeline Tanner now, all the time. How much percent cash do you have on the sidelines? Nearly none. That's the truth. I'm not messing with cash right now. I believe in a long-term bull case. Recently trimmed out of some income ETFs and just turning that cash into plays like, SOFI or Google or BMNR or D-Local, stuff like that. Yeah. Paul, I forgot to thank you for thinking of me at nighttime. You keep me up at night sometimes saying that you sold out, but now you're playing with house's money. It's a good place to be. What's your NVIDIA forecast? I mean, if I thought we would have been higher already. I think that the actual stock is worth way more than it is today in terms of the stock price. Their earnings are skyrocketing. We've never seen a company that's this large that'll be the most profitable business in the entire world that's growing at blitzkrieg rates in an environment, in a market that's growing at 50+% rates as well. But, I think that we should probably already be at $200 a share. Into the future, I think, the amount of revenue that people assume, like maybe right now for, I think 2026 is something along the lines of 250 billion. I could be getting my numbers wrong. If that's, with China and everything turns out to be 300 billion or 350 billion, that's going to be quite the correction to people's assumptions. So I'm not making too many price targets, but I do think that there is still so much upside, especially if Lisa Su is right and we're 2 years into a 10-year bull run. Whew. Tanner, why do you think the payment space is slightly disrespected from a valuation standpoint? For D-Local, PayPal, all cheap. I mean, you know why. It's stablecoin worries, big tech worries. They're just going through a major shift right now. Yeah. But like, that's the thing with D-Local and why I feel more comfortable is like, let's imagine these companies, PayPal at a valuation like this, D-Local at a valuation like this. If PayPal is hoping for a re-rating, but growing at 4%, let's say they do not get re-rated, but they are growing at 4%. Well, then the price to sales does not have, like, it can stay flat and the stock will go up 4% each year because the multiple stays flat, the actual earnings are going up, and the stock goes up. Obviously, buybacks and everything, that'll add an additional 10% or whatever. I'm not talking about that. D-Local, if it stays at the same valuation and is growing at 60+% rates, improving margins, stuff like this, or 50+% rates, then the stock will improve at 50+% rates, even keeping the same multiple. Now, if that one gets re-rated with that top line and bottom line growth, then that's where we really start to see like, okay, I'm hunting for a 2x or a 3x in a year. That could be quite exciting. Are we covering the Meta event? Yes, we are. Let me change the title of the event. We are covering the event that is coming up in 10 minutes. But yes, let's go ahead and switch the event. Meta, whenever you try to type in Meta and you type in meet. Okay. Live with Mark Zuck. Okay. Okay. We are listening to the Meta event. Yeah. Little slip of the fingers, The meat double beat? Oh, no. No, dude. I thought that was an innocent comment. because I was thinking, Meta is always, oh man. One of the parts about this business is like, I don't know if there's another industry at all where there's just such clippable live events that'll never go away in history of you just being embarrassed and caught in these cringe moments. Now, overall, I think that unless it's like Amit trying to say that my IT comments were racist or whatever, most of them are just cute and fun. But, sometimes it could be a little worrisome being live constantly. Okay. Tanner, you think SoFi will release crypto and options this year? Options, yes. I hope crypto this year, but they did not give any indication as to when that might be. Can you guys let me go blow my nose really quick? I'll be right back, okay? Right back. Don't go anywhere. Right back. I'm back. That was it. I had my office changed a little bit because I had someone come in and put the Ethernet in my office. And usually I have a thing here so then I don't have to leave the office so to get some things. But yeah, I guess it got moved whenever people came into my office. Okay, I'll allow it. Aaron gave me the allowance or the go ahead, so we went and blew our nose. That was quick. Bring the dog back with you. Pee bucket. Yeah, during every Meta Connect, I always get a pee bucket. No. Okay. Why am I not joining it? There's no tool for me to stop my stream here to go over to his while not making it just an ability to just switch over. So we can watch it and then we can just call each other after this to give each other our opinions. But it's not easy for us to collaborate that easy unless he was live at the time that I went live and then we could have just done something together. But yeah, that's all. However, let's see here. This was quite interesting. One of the largest banks in LATAM, I always say it wrong, but Santander. I know it's like Santander or something like this, but they're like one of the largest banks in the world, let alone in LATAM. And they just allowed retail crypto trading. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Polkadot, Cardano. Quite interesting, actually. So if you guys are on the Ethereum train, it does not hurt having more companies that are allowing for users to purchase those products. Now, give me one quick second. What we're going to do, I'm going to switch this over here. Or maybe I'll switch. Yeah, I'll do this. Because I still want to watch it, but I like to take notes. And then we'll bring this up. Okay, cool. Remember, I'm not a shareholder, but maybe one day, Santander. I don't understand how to do the accents. Santander. Oh, we got that 5-minute countdown now. Let's go. Okay, cool. I am definitely considering buying Meta. I mean, of course. How can you not? Santander. Okay, is this going to be music or are they saying stuff? No, music still. Um, Tanner has a big nose problem. Do you mean in the size or me needing to blow my nose? Because I'm sure maybe they lead into each other. You guys, no one ever wants to talk stocks with me, eh? That's too funny. Meta is my second biggest position. That's incredible, Matt. Congratulations on your all your success. Tanner, do you sell covered calls on your shift 4 and new positions? If not, why? Mainly just liquidity. I just really haven't looked too much. I've only really done it with companies that are very popular. You know, new and shift 4. Yeah, I mean they've done well for my portfolio, but they're not the most popular positions for me. First time viewer, welcome, Beanhead Beanhead Men. Yeah, usually this is an investing stream. We always talk stocks, and that might even include Meta. But with that, a lot of the information that we try to look into is qualitatively. So Meta is only going to be as good as if their customers want to keep coming back, using those products, buying what they have next, or potentially even anecdotally, am I going to buy those products? So really excited to see this to potentially, look into buying it. This is also why I love YouTube so much, why I continue to be a, Google fan, is that like we did a DuoCon, like the Duolingo stream recently where they showed off their products. And I'm telling you guys, like 90% of the audience, for some of you guys that were there, I don't know if you saw the comments, those were not our regular audiences. Those were people from different walks of life that really love learning languages, that were just looking how to find DuoCon online. And then we have our regular audience. What up, ugly? This is a famous person, okay? That's Evan. He's got like 700,000 followers on X. This is how he comes and greets me. He probably has like over 1.5 million on all his accounts. I don't know why he's a mod. I don't know who modded him. Crazy. It's good to see you too, Evan. Feel like they'll pump ads into your glasses. I don't know if they'll be that direct. They will definitely make it profitable. That's for sure. But they will probably offer different services or subscriptions. That would be like saying, Apple is trying to throw ads all into your products. I don't know if they necessarily do that. It's more along the lines of the applications that they offer to you then can fill it up with ads or something like this. They let those businesses be as good to the user or crude or whatever to their own liking. I think Facebook definitely strikes that balance as well. They are one of the most consistent builders of products. Meta is of like any other business ever. So I bet you the types of products, including hardware, will be pretty interesting and engaging to use. You buy the glasses, I'll buy the stock. Yeah. I plan on buying the glasses. I mean, you know what I heard in the chat? Someone said, Matt Flo in chat said, if it can help recognize people and tell me what their name is, like remember names of people. I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. To update your contact list, to keep a running name tag above people. So then you'd be like, oh yeah, of course it's John. Of course I remember you. And like Meta loves doing that, People like expect you to remember their birthday now. And it's like, I don't remember your birthday. It's just Facebook told me it's your birthday. The only reason why I know you're in a relationship is because Facebook told me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get in. They just keep playing like this, like yoga music or something. Like we're about to get taken into this new universe. Of course, Evan's going to buy the glasses. I think he has the old glasses as well. Yeah, what's crazy is the amount of like how much Meta stock has actually increased is crazy considering like how cheap the multiple is. I think the only stock in the Mag 7 that's cheaper is Google. So there still is so much inherent bias that people think that Meta's not going to do well. It's not. Okay, let's get into this. It's not my birthday. Okay, enjoy.
Mark, we're ready for you.
All right. Going on. Hey. We'll talk about these in a minute. Welcome to Connect. All right. AI, glasses, and virtual reality. Our goal is to build great-looking glasses that deliver personal superintelligence and a feeling of presence using realistic holograms. And these ideas combined are what we call the metaverse. Now, glasses are the ideal form factor for personal superintelligence because they let you stay present in the moment while getting access to all of these AI capabilities that make you smarter, help you communicate better, improve your memory, improve your senses, and more. Glasses are the only form factor where you can let an AI see what you see, hear what you hear, talk to you throughout the day, and very soon generate whatever UI you need right in your vision in real time. So it is no surprise that AI glasses are taking off. This is now our third year shipping AI glasses with our great partner, EssilorLuxottica. And the sales trajectory that we've seen is similar to some of the most popular consumer electronics of all time. Now, we are focused on designing glasses with a few clear values. Number one, they need to be great glasses first. Now, before we get to any of the technology, the glasses need to be well designed and comfortable. And if you're going to wear glasses on your face all day, every day, then they need to be refined in their aesthetics, and they need to be light. So in addition to working with iconic brands, we have spent years of engineering obsessing over how to shave every fraction of a millimeter and portion of a gram that we can from every pair of glasses that we ship, and I think that that shows in the work. Number two, the technology needs to get out of the way. The promise of glasses is to preserve this sense of presence that you have when you're with other people. Now, this feeling of presence, it's a profound thing, and I think that we've lost it a little bit with phones, and we have the opportunity to get it back with glasses. So when we're designing the hardware and software, we focus on giving you access to very powerful tools when you want them, and then just having them fade into the background otherwise. Number three, take superintelligence seriously. This is going to be the most important technology in our lifetimes. AI should serve people, not just be something that sits in a data center automating large parts of society. So we design our glasses to be able to empower people with new capabilities as soon as they become possible. We think in advance about what kind of sensors are going to be necessary, and we make it so that you can just update your software and make your glasses and yourself smarter and direct AI towards what matters most in your life. All right. So with all that said, we do have some new glasses to show you today. And I want to start with these, the next generation of Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Now, these are the original and iconic design. I think that this is actually the most popular glasses design in history. And now, with double the battery life, I wear them all day. They never run out of battery. It's got 3K video recording, double our previous resolution for sharper, smoother, and more vivid videos. These are all shot with Ray-Ban Meta. And Meta AI keeps on getting better. So last year, I did this live demo translating live between two people. We were doing that on stage. Now, today, I am excited to introduce a feature that we call Conversation Focus. It's a new feature coming soon that is going to be able to amplify your friends' voices in your ear. So if you're in a noisy restaurant, you're basically going to be able to turn up the volume on your friends or whoever you're talking to. And Conversation Focus, it's not only going to be on the new Ray-Ban Metas, it's going to be available as a software update on all of the existing Ray-Ban Metas too. Now, to show this, we've got Johnny Cirillo and Jack Coyne in the streets of New York. So check out how this works.
Hi, Johnny.
Hello, how are you? Got the Renaissance vibes going on? Going on, baby. Jack.
I just put my name in. It's going to be a couple minutes.
Nice.
I need your advice.
Okay.
Every time I get my picture taken, I feel like I'm not being normal. I want to feel like just a regular person when I'm...
One sec, Jack. Hey, Meta. Start Conversation Focus.
Starting Conversation Focus.
Okay, go on.
As soon as the camera comes up,
Yeah.
I start to have this like serious
Deer in headlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I be like more normal?
Oh, man.
How do I be more natural like when I'm getting my picture taken?
Sometimes I play around with something like your collar, fix your sleeve a little bit.
And like
Yeah, just like
sort of
Yeah,
action.
like nobody's around. You know what I mean? You gotta just
Finger David ready.
All right. It's Conversation Focus. All right, we are also improving live AI. As we optimize battery and energy efficiency, Meta AI is going to transition from being something that you invoke when you have a question to a service that is running all the time and helping you out throughout the day. Now, to be clear, we're not there yet on all-day live AI use. This is one of the major technology challenges that we're still working through. But today, you can use live AI for about an hour or two straight. So to get a feeling for what this is like, let's cut to Chef Jack Mancuso, who's coming to us live from a kitchen on Meta's campus preparing for the after party. How's it going, Chef? All right, so what do you think? Maybe let's make, I don't know, what should we make? Maybe like a steak sauce, maybe Korean-inspired type thing, you know, just to show what the live AI is like.
Yeah, let's try it. It's not something I've made before, so I could definitely use the help. Hey, Meta, start live AI.
Starting live AI. I love the setup you have here with soy sauce and other ingredients. How can I help?
Hey, can you help me make a Korean-inspired steak sauce for my steak sandwich here?
You can make a Korean-inspired steak sauce using soy sauce, sesame oil.
What do I do
brown
first?
sugar-
What do I do first?
You've already combined the base ingredients. So now grate a pear to add to the sauce.
What do I do first?
You've already combined the base ingredients. So now grate the pear and gently combine it with the base sauce.
All right, I think the Wi-Fi might be messed up. Sorry, back to you, Mark.
It's all good. You know what? It's all good. It's the irony of the whole thing is that you spend years making technology, and then the Wi-Fi at the day kind of catches you. All right. Anyway, we'll go check out what he made later. Okay. Now, when you're building glasses, there is an important intersection between technology and fashion and style. And the technology keeps getting more useful, but you know, as I said before, first and foremost, these need to be great-looking glasses that people love to wear. So we are releasing the Ray-Ban Metas in more colorways to match your style. Here's a bunch of the new ones. And you know, last year at Connect, we also released a limited edition clear frames, and they were pretty popular. They sold out in a few days. So we've got a new limited edition transparent matte frames with 2 colors. So get them quickly because they're probably going to be sold out in a few days too. All right. Now, it's been pretty fun to see how designers have taken Ray-Ban Meta in a lot of different directions. You know, some of you probably are familiar with the fashion label Luar, run by Raul Lopez. And you know, he's a bold designer who's bringing together sportswear and high fashion. He recently debuted a look that's centered on Ray-Ban Meta at New York Fashion Week. Raul's actually here today, along with Christy Baez, modeling the look that he created. So, awesome. Good to see you. All right. All right, that's the next generation of Ray-Ban Meta. We're really excited about this. They're available now, starting at $379. All right. This summer, we launched our first pair of AI glasses with Oakley, the Oakley Meta Houston. It's another iconic brand that we're working with. Oakley is synonymous with sports for 50 years now. They're available in a number of great colors. Now, today, I am excited to add to our Oakley collection and announce the brand new Oakley Meta Vanguard. Now, this is the iconic Oakley aesthetic. These glasses are designed for performance. And on these, you know, we push the battery even further. You can run a marathon using them the whole time on a single charge, and then you can turn around and run another marathon on the same charge and still not be out of battery. The camera is centered for perfect alignment for your shots. It's got a wider 122-degree field of view, so you can capture all the epicness of your adventure in 3K. And it's got video stabilization. So that means that as you're going down a trail, you're going to be able to capture some really great video. All right. The open-ear speakers are the most powerful speakers that we've shipped yet, with 6 decibels louder than Oakley Meta Houston. So they're great for running on a noisy road or biking in 30-mile-an-hour winds. I actually took a call on a jet ski a few weeks ago. It was great. I could hear the other person fine over the engine, and our advanced wind noise reduction makes it so that you can basically be standing in a wind tunnel and you'd still come in clear to the person on the other side. I mean, the person had no idea I was on a jet ski, which is good. All right, we've added slow motion and hyperlapse capture modes so you can capture your adventures in new ways. These modes are also going to be available on all the new glasses that we're announcing here, the new Ray-Ban Meta, the new Oakley Meta Houstons 2. So you can get great footage with any of the glasses. All right, we're partnering with Garmin. And introducing auto capture. So now if you're wearing a Garmin device, the glasses are going to be able to automatically capture video when you reach certain speeds or different distance intervals, or like every mile of a marathon. And then when you're done, we'll just stitch together all the videos for you, and you can overlay the stats on top of them, and you get a nice video that you can share wherever you want. And we're also partnering with Strava. So you can overlay your stats from Strava too and share all the same type of content with your Strava community. All right. We put an LED in them, so that way it can light up in your peripheral vision to help keep you on your pace target or heart rate zone target. So that's going to be really useful if you're using a Garmin device too. These are also our most water-resistant glasses yet. With an IP67 rating, they can get wet. I've taken them out surfing. It's fine. It's good. So yeah, there you go. They're also designed with swappable Oakley Prism Shield lenses for different light conditions, different styles. You can customize this iconic design however you want. All right, now I think that these are pretty awesome. I'm really excited for all of you to get to try them out. To give them a test and to take them for a little bit of a spin, we gave them to our friends at Red Bull. So check this out.
That's well done.
Hey Meta, what's the world record for the longest wakeboard rail slide?
Hey Meta, what's the speed limit here?
The speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour.
Hey Meta, start recording. Let's have some fun!
Wow! Wow! Your current speed is 103 kilometers per hour.
Hey Meta, record slow motion.
These glasses are perfectly fit. Amazing.
Oakley Meta Vanguard. All right, we are selling them for $499. Pre-orders start now, and we're going to ship them on October 21st. There you go. All right, now let's check out those glasses I walked on stage with. All right, we have been working on glasses for more than 10 years at Meta. And this is one of those special moments where we get to show you something that we've poured a lot of our lives into, and that I just think is different from anything that I've seen anyone else work on. I am really proud of this, and I'm really proud of our team for achieving this. This is Meta Ray-Ban Display. These are glasses with the classic style that you'd expect from Ray-Ban, but they are the first AI glasses with a high-resolution display and a whole new way to interact with them, the Meta Neural Band. That's this guy. All right, now, this isn't a prototype. This is here, it is ready to go, and you're going to be able to buy them in a couple of weeks. All right, so what's new here? There are two key innovations, the display and the neural interface. The display is large enough to watch a video or read a thread of messages. It appears in one eye, it's slightly off-center so it doesn't block your view, and it disappears after a few seconds when it's not in use so it doesn't distract you. It is very high resolution and very bright. I mean like 42 pixels per degree, which is sharper than any major headset that's out there, and up to 5,000 nits of brightness. So it is crisp whether you're indoors or outdoors on the sunniest day. This required a custom light engine and waveguide to deliver this. It's a lot of awesome technology that we're really proud of. And then there's the neural interface. Every new computing platform has a new way to interact with it. So for the glasses, we are replacing the keyboard, mouse, touchscreen, buttons, dials, with the ability to send signals from your brain with little muscle movements that the neural band will pick up so you can silently control your glasses with barely perceptible movements. The Meta Neural Band is a huge scientific breakthrough. We have built a neural interface into a durable, lightweight, comfortable, and good-looking wristband with 18 hours of battery life and is water resistant. Now, I want to get into this in more detail. We've got two options. We've got the slides or we've got the live demo. Let's do it live. All right. Now, one of the most important and frequent things that we all do on our phones is send messages. So when we were designing these Meta Ray-Bans, we wanted to make it really easy to send and receive messages. And look, Boz is messaging me right now. All right, now, okay, I could go ahead and I could dictate with my voice, I could send a voice clip, but I've got this neural band, and it's silent. And now, and a lot of the time you're around other people. So it's good to just be able to type without anyone seeing. And it's I'm up to about 30 words a minute on this. You can get pretty fast. Want to try a video call? I think we should. What do you think? All right. All right. So I think our call will be coming in any moment now.
Boz, WhatsApp video call.
There we go. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what happened there. That's too bad. I don't know what happened. Maybe Boz can try calling me again. All right. Well, I got a missed video call. Okay, there's the actual video call. All right, I'm just gonna pick that up with my neural band. This is, you know, it happens. Yeah, let's. What do you think? Let's just go ahead and.
WhatsApp video call.
Let's go for a fourth. All right, try it again. I keep on messing this up. And if not, then we'll go for the less fun option. Okay. I don't know what to tell you guys. All right. We're gonna have Boz come out here, and we're just gonna go to the next thing that I wanted to show, and hope that will work. All right. All right. Now, Boz is going to come out, and he's going to need some walk-on music, especially after that. So now I'm going to be able to open up Meta AI with a subtle tap that you're probably not even going to see. Play California Dreamin'.
From Spotify, here's California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas.
All right, and if I want to adjust the volume, I act like there's a volume control in front of me, and I can just turn it, and there we go. 5 times the charge. This Wi-Fi is brutal. Yeah, I don't know. We'll debug that later. You know, you practice these things like 100 times, and then you never know what's happening.
I promise you, no one is more upset about this than I am, because this is my team that now has to go debug why this didn't work on the stage.
We'll take a video later, and
That's right.
We'll show the video that way. All right. So what should we show? So we talked about conversation focus earlier, and how now with the Ray-Ban Metas, they're going to be able to turn up the volume on a friend. But with the display, you could do even better. You can put subtitles on the world.
Should we set it up?
So yeah, you want to check this out?
Yeah, let me get it going right now.
All right,
we're ready for it.
Okay. Now I don't know about you. When I watch TV,
we had it. I accidentally exited. That's my fault. That's my fault.
It's all good.
Okay, we're good now.
It's really live.
That's how we prove that it's live.
Yeah. Okay. So now, like I was saying. When I watch TV, I pretty much always have the subtitles on. I can hear fine, but I find that it just makes it easier to follow along. But if you have an issue hearing, then I think that this is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also cool, it can do translation. So if I'm talking to somebody who speaks a different language than me, I'll get a translation in my native language right on the display, real-life subtitles.
There you go. All right, should we show the camera?
We got to show the camera. For everyone who loves the Ray-Ban Metas, the number one request we get is the ability to see the picture before they take it, and also after they take it, before they share it. And finally, with the viewfinder, we have a chance to do it. Should we show them?
Let's do it. All right, so let me just go ahead and pull up the camera. I got a lot of missed calls from you.
Yeah. I don't
know what happened.
I was trying to call you.
I don't know what happened.
Were you busy?
Yeah, all right. All right, what should we take? You got some sick shoes, man.
Some Alex Albert Oakley's here.
Yeah, there you go. All right. I'll take some photos. Video, just because we missed that opportunity before.
Thank you.
Say hi. You want to wave? All right, there you go.
Here, I got something to show them.
Yeah, you want to show the case?
So the charging case for the glasses folds nice and flat, fits in your pocket, fits in your bag, and then look at that, pops open for charging mode.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I just take photos really simply, and then I can just go ahead and you can just browse through them and look at them after. It's yeah. So there you go. It's a nice high-resolution display that you can totally do video chats or watch the videos that you've taken on your camera.
That's what my face would have looked like had the video call gone through.
All right. Well, anyhow, that was a pretty good speed run. 4 to 5.
We'll take it.
That's about what you can get.
All right.
See you in a minute. All right. So you get a sense of how the meta displays and the neural band come together to enable some pretty amazing new things. The last thing that I want to show is a glimpse of how this is going to work with agentic AI. And the basic idea here is that we all have dozens of conversations throughout the day. And if you're anything like me, then in every conversation, there are normally like 5 things that you want to follow up on. Maybe there's something you're supposed to do. Maybe there's a conversation that this reminded you that you need to have. Maybe someone just said something that you weren't sure about and wanted to confirm or wanted more context on. But the thing is, it's tough to follow up while you're in the middle of a conversation. So if you're anything like me, you probably don't, and then you just forget a lot of these things. So the promise of glasses and AI is that they're going to help with this over time. So you just start a live AI session, and the glasses are going to be able to see what you see, hear what you hear, and they're going to be able to go off and think about it, and then come back and help you. Now, this one's inherently harder to show. It's non-deterministic. We're also going to be rolling out a bunch of these features over the coming months. But we put together a video of this, what this is going to be like. So let's check this out.
Thank you so much. Hey, Jake. I'm so glad you reached out.
Hey, yeah, I was hoping you could help me on this board I'm building for my brother.
Oh, of course. Hey, Meta, start live AI.
So for the board, my brother needs something with a wide tail so it's easy to catch waves, but the performance of a narrower tail.
What about a swallowtail shape?
Oh, that's great, yeah.
But maybe 3 fins, that makes it easier to turn, right?
I love it. He's actually going to Hawaii in the spring. Do you think we can have the fins by then?
Actually, a few weeks ago, the supplier confirmed that the fins will be here in October.
That's great news, but would it be too tight?
I'll need to double check to be sure.
Yeah, that would really help.
Okay, she is good to go.
Nice. I'll update the designs and let's catch some waves soon.
Let's do it. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
All right. So there you have it. This is the next chapter in the exciting story of the future of computing. And so we got Meta Ray-Ban display, our first AI glasses with high-resolution display, and the Meta Neural Band, the world's first mainstream neural interface. The glasses are going to come in 2 colors. They're going to come in black and sand. And they also all come with transition lenses, so you can wear them indoors. They turn into sunglasses when you go outside. And you are going to be able to buy the set for $7.99 in stores, where you can get demos as well, on September 30th. All right. There you go. I'm looking forward to them. Okay. People are already getting a lot of text messages from me through them. So, it's great. Okay. So all in, this is our fall 2025 glasses line. We have got the next generation of Ray-Ban Meta, including our special edition. You've got the Oakley Meta Houstons that we released in the summer. You've got the Oakley Meta Vanguard for performance. And now you've got the Meta Ray-Ban display. Those are our fall 2025 glasses. All right. Moving on. Now let's talk about the intersection between AI and virtual reality. Now, we want to help bring about a future where anyone can just dream up any experience that you can think of and then just create it. And with AI, we are starting to see this a little bit with writing and photos and even the early part of videos. But pretty soon, I think that people are going to be able to create entirely new, immersive and interactive types of content. Whole worlds, games, characters, art, holograms that complement the physical objects around you. And this is a big deal because right now, creating this kind of 3D and immersive and interactive content is really hard. But it takes a long time to create great virtual or augmented reality content. And that's one of the constraints that is holding back the ecosystem. But we're not far from being able to create this kind of content just as easily as you would prompt Meta AI today. And this, I think, it's going to transform not just what's possible in virtual reality, but also the kind of content that you can get on glasses and the types of content that you see on social media in experiences like Facebook and Instagram in the future as well. So today, we're taking a few big steps in this direction. First, Meta Horizon Studio. Now, over the last year, we've released a number of AI tools to generate meshes, textures, TypeScript, audio, skyboxes, and a lot more, so that way creators can make higher quality worlds in just a fraction of the time. Soon, Meta Horizon Studio is going to include an agentic AI assistant that will stitch together all of these different tools and further speed up the creation process using just simple text prompts. Powering this is our brand new Meta Horizon engine. Now, this is a new engine that we have spent the last couple of years building from scratch to replace the Unity runtime, which is great, by the way, but it just wasn't built for this use case. This engine is fully optimized for bringing the metaverse to life. It is much faster performance and to load things, much better graphics, much easier to create with. Now you're going to be able to easily create infinite connected spaces that look way, way better with realistic physics and interaction. All right, now to check this out, what this engine can do, let's walk through some of the new experiences that we're rolling out. Now, first, the graphic fidelity means that hyperscape spaces are now really quite something. Now, I showed a prototype of this last year, and today we are rolling out early access to hyperscape capture. So you can just use your Quest headset to scan a room in just a few minutes and turn it into an immersive, true-to-life world. It's pretty awesome. Now, eventually, you're going to be able to seamlessly blend Hyperscape and worlds into Horizon and have them all be connected too. All right, this is our new immersive home, rendered entirely in Meta Horizon engine. Visually, it is a big step forward from where we have been. There is no 8-bit Eiffel Tower here. You can customize your home. You can pin different apps to the wall. Like this Instagram app, it automatically renders your posts from creators and friends in 3D, which is pretty awesome. You can also jump straight from your home to a series of interconnected worlds. And the new engine makes it more than 4 times faster to load and render new worlds. So now it's just a few seconds, right? So it's more like loading a web page than loading an entire new game, which makes it a lot easier to create this interconnected metaverse. Horizon Engine also enables much greater concurrency and many more people to be in the same world at the same time. We now support 5 times as many people in the same world compared to the previous engine. So that's going to enable a lot of neat things. All right, so let's say that you want to head over to the new arena to see a concert, or if you're there right now, then you can be watching this Connect keynote live. And if you go in there, you're going to see a lot of people. They're live, and you can interact with them. So anyway, all right, this is Meta Horizon Studio and Meta Horizon Engine, foundational infrastructure for the metaverse, and they're going to enable immersive and interactive worlds across all of our products, starting with virtual reality, and then one day coming to your glasses and coming to social media as well. All right. The last thing I want to cover is content. Quest continues to have the very best slate of virtual reality games. We've got Marvel's Deadpool VR, ILM's Star Wars Beyond Victory, and Demio by Dungeons & Dragons. Battlemarked, all launching this fall. It has also been really neat to see how many people are using Quest to watch video content. It's just a lot more immersive. So we think that this category, watching video content, is going to be a huge category, both in virtual reality headsets and on glasses too. So we're launching a new entertainment hub that we are calling Horizon TV. And we are working with a bunch of great partners to include a bunch of movies and TV and live sports and music. So I'm excited to announce that Disney Plus is coming to Horizon TV and bring along content from Hulu and ESPN. We are also partnering with Universal Pictures, an iconic horror company, Blumhouse. So you can watch horror movies like The Black Phone or Megan with 3D special effects that now will take over your space. Horizon TV also supports Dolby Atmos, and it's going to support Dolby Vision soon too. So you're going to have rich colors, crisp details, and spatial sound for a more immersive experience than you could have with traditional TV. All right. I am really excited about what these new technologies are going to unlock for artists and entertainment. I think that the shift towards more immersive storytelling, 3D storytelling, it's going to be one of the more exciting developments in the coming years. And I think that it's going to drive a new wave of adoption of virtual reality and glasses. So I wanted to close today by hearing from the pioneer of immersive, cutting-edge storytelling with CGI, 3D filmmaking, and more. So please join me in welcoming to the stage legendary filmmaker James Cameron, along with our very own Boz again. All right, thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Mark. James Cameron really needs no introduction. I am going to try out of respect. The most famous filmmaker, unprecedented hit rate in Hollywood, but also, and critically for our partnership, a real pioneer in technology, consistently pushing the technology he needs to fulfill his creative vision, as Mark said, whether that be in 3D, storytelling, or even building a submarine. He's done the whole range. So thank you for coming to Connect. We're so glad to have you.
It's a huge honor. I mean, this is such a big day for you guys, and I'm glad you were able to squeeze me in. Appreciate it.
Anytime, really. So you and I have talked a lot about your passion for 3D filmmaking, and it goes back a long ways, 2 decades, really. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about where that comes from, why you believe so strongly in this.
I've spent my filmmaking career trying to really engage people, draw them in, get them involved in the story and the characters. I was first exposed to 3D filmmaking in 1998, I think, and it was massive film cameras. It was for a thing for Universal for a ride show. I thought, we got to be able to do this better. And then when digital cameras came along, I was a super early adopter. I think it was George Lucas and then me, and that was in 99, 2000. And I said, why can't we just slap 2 of these things side by side and make 3D, you know? Well, it turned out to be a lot more complicated than that. And so 25 years later, I'm pleased to say I've got a great 3D team, and we've made it all. We not only made my films, but we've made the 3D cameras available to a lot of other filmmakers doing concert films and sports for TV, which didn't last long. but and lots of big movies, Ridley Scott, that sort of thing. I just love 3D personally. I love authoring in it. I love seeing the end result when it's done properly, and I think it's how we perceive the world. Why would we throw away 50% of our data, and see everything through a single eye? It makes no sense to me. And I just see a future which I think can be enabled by the new, devices that you have, the Quest series, and then some of the new stuff, hopefully, that's coming down the line, right? I think we're looking at a future that's a whole new distribution model where we can have theater grade 3D, basically on your head.
And one of the things that's interesting, you talked a lot about how, when we first met, you talked about how much the visual fidelity matters to you, and the brightness of the screen, and the fullness of the effect that you're getting from it. And for a long time, the headsets weren't there. They weren't even as good as TV, let alone theater. Now we're seeing something different, and you've been able to put the headset on, and with you've been working so hard now on Avatar, Fire and Ash coming in December.
Right.
You've gotten a chance to see some of these pieces in headset, and you had a pretty surprising reaction to me. You said that's how you thought it should be seen.
This is, I mean, it's interesting because I've been fighting so hard with movie theaters to get the brightness levels up, to install laser projection, but they're caught in an earlier paradigm. And, no business can survive being stuck in technology 15 years old. So, when I put on the Quest 3 and I saw some of my own content, which I knew because I have the sort of baseline calibration for that. I know what it's supposed to look like. And to see it at light levels beyond the SEMTI standard for theater projection. The very, very best you're going to see in a theater is 16-foot Lamberts. Most theaters are at 3-foot Lamberts, which is like nits, but it's the theater version of it.
A lot of people out there Googling foot Lambert right now.
Right? And so, and the Quest is at 30 foot Lamberts equivalent if you do the conversion from nits. And so that's an order of magnitude brighter, and the brightness gives you the dynamic range, it gives you the color space as it was meant to be, and that's so much more engaging. And the work that you guys have done in the Quest series to expand the field of view, to get the brightness, to get the spatial resolution, to me, it's like being in my own private movie theater.
I do think that's one of the reasons Horizon TV ends up being why it's happening now. It's always been kind of an idea, and we've always been about to do it. We never quite brought it together now, and I love the response that we got from the audience. Who knows? That's true. We just have never quite pulled it all together. I think the difference is we finally have the displays to do it. We have something to offer here that even TV can't necessarily rival.
Exactly. I mean, you mostly look at flat displays, phones, laptops, wall panels, all that sort of thing. This is going to be, I think, a new age because we experience the world in 3D. Our brains are wired for it. Our visual neurobiology is wired for it. And, we've been able to prove that there's more emotional engagement, there's more sense of presence. If you're going to watch a Blumhouse film, a horror film, your fight, flight reflex is more engaged, right? Hopefully, if you're watching a love story, you'll cry an extra tear or so. I don't know how measurable it is in hard metrics because it's a bit subjective, but I want to say maybe 20% more engagement, right? So my vision is a stereo ubiquity future where all of our feeds, our news, our entertainment content, our live stuff, sports, of course, right? And you guys have been writing some amazing UIs for sports. Am I supposed to talk? I can't talk about that. Okay. Anyway, the point is, it's all this.
Can't take this guy anywhere.
This stuff is not. Okay. Nobody in this room can say a word, okay? And I trust you guys. But it's all imminent. This is not something that's pie in the sky down the line. And so I think our task, the reason that we've partnered, and it's under, if I can say it, it's under Bob Morgan and content and Sarah Melkin. And our gig right now, it's there.
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah. Our gig right now is to get other filmmakers and showrunners, because by the way, I think episodic television, short form, long form, I think that's the low-hanging fruit that people have historically ignored because so much 3D content was just made for movies. I'm not talking about Avatar. I can't I can't make movies fast enough to feed this pipeline. What we do at Lightstorm Vision, my 3D company, is we build cameras and systems and networking and tools to give to other to supply to other filmmakers.
To generously help.
To generously help.
For only a small fee.
A small fee. Other filmmakers and showrunners and broadcasters and so on, to be able to create this avalanche of content that there will be an enormous demand for.
And this is the thing that I think is underappreciated. You are driving down over time the cost that it's going to take to build these kinds of productions. So it can be done much more conventionally. It used to be an incredible, you know, when you're doing the first Avatar,
it's a bad example.
It's just cutting edge. Everything is hard. Everything is, and you're trying to bring it into conventional productions so that people doing any kind of production are able to bring this content, this rich of an experience to their audience who wants to invest in it.
Sure, and it's not only just bringing down the hardware, but it's making the hardware smarter. There's a lot of software solutions and downstream digital solutions and so on. We want to make the stuff so idiot-proof that we can put a production camera, a production system in the hands of anybody, anywhere, and it will take care of, you know, the decision-making around what makes good stereo, what makes it easy on our eyes, easy on our brains, where we're not getting eye strain and all those things. So it's taken us 25 years to figure out the kind of algorithm for that. We want to make it a real algorithm and build it into this gear and make it available. And then that will enable, you know, I can't make this stuff fast enough, but there's thousands of people producing tens of thousands of hours a year of content, and it will flow across your devices.
Yeah, and if you think about going from, like, you know, autofocus, you have the ability to, interocular distance can be an automatic
auto stereo,
calculation,
basically.
auto stereo. So yeah, this is one of the things that really, I think, has made this partnership so great, and you get a sense, I think, of it from the two of us. We're effusive about the partnership, is you are somebody who's had a creative vision. You start with a creative vision. You start with a product. You start with an idea of the story you want to tell and how you want people to experience that story, and you work backwards. And you tackle all those pieces. Tell me, you looked at, when did you first come up with the Avatar idea?
I was 19 when I had a dream about a bioluminescent forest. I wrote the treatment in 1995. So I've been making Avatar in some form in my mind and then in practice for over 30 years.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so in 1995, the thing that you need doesn't exist yet. You have to
none of it existed.
You know, and so I hope you kind of see the parallels between a Mark Zuckerberg and a James Cameron, people who see a future. I mean, I've been doing this work in Reality Labs for 10 years now. And it is, we're obsessive about a vision of the future, which we haven't arrived at yet, but we do see the progress. I will say it kind of finally feels like it's going downhill now. Like it's starting to feel like it's picking up momentum, not only in the hardware, but also in the content side.
You are willing a future into existence that you saw clearly. And this moment in history feels a lot to me like it did back in the early 90s, late 80s and early 90s, when CG was first manifesting itself. And, oh, you're going to replace actors and it'll never look real, and you know, analog is the answer. And that's why I founded a company called Digital Domain. I wanted, you know, it was revolutionary in its moment. It's ho-hum today, and it's ubiquitous today. So I've actually seen historically in my own life experience how you can actually make massive change. And, you know, and then that led to 3D. Okay, everybody accepts the fact that we go to digital movie theaters now, right? Obvious, right? Except that when the digital technology existed, it wasn't adopted right away. It took 3D to get the theaters to convert to digital projection.
It took you.
Well, we were in the middle of that.
Release.
Yeah, we were right in the middle.
They updated the theaters.
Yeah, yeah, and it was actually talking to the team at Texas Instruments that developed the chip that made digital projection possible, and saying, embed in your servers and in your electronics the ability to carry two image streams. And because they did that, then digital projection just rolled out, and now it's everywhere other than the occasional art house someplace with a 35 millimeter print. But when you've lived through enough of these revolutions, you start to see them coming as a wave, like a good surfer. I know you surf.
That's right.
I watch it from the beach.
You watch it from underwater.
I watch it from underwater.
Listen, we've got one more exciting piece coming. I want to thank you again for coming to Connect. It's really our honor to have you. I can't wait to check out Avatar Fire and Ash, as I'm sure everyone here will agree, when it hits the theaters in December 19th. Thank you. And as a special surprise, we have an exclusive, never before seen, stunning 3D clip from Avatar Fire and Ash for everyone to check out in demo stations here for attendees and available on all Meta Quest devices in Horizon TV for a limited viewing window. So thank you all. Thank you, James. And trust the process. This is all going to be very exciting. And now I'm going to cue Mark to take us to the finish line here.
All right. Hey. All right. Thank you, James and Boz. Can't wait to see Avatar Fire and Ash this December and for some awesome Avatar content to hit Horizon TV. And I can't wait to get the new fall 2025 line of glasses in all of your hands and for you to get a chance to experience Meta Horizon Studio and Engine. One last live demo. I don't learn. All right. We've got an after party over at Meta's Classic Campus. Diplo is going to play. Please join me in welcoming Diplo.
How are you doing?
Good. All right. So everyone knows you're a legendary DJ, but people are also starting to learn that you're a big runner, and you've got the whole Diplo Run Club.
Exactly.
So what do you think? Should we run over to
ready for a
Classic
run right now?
Campus and take these things for a spin?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Meta, play Be Right There.
From Spotify, here's Be Right There by Diplo.
Okay, what's the live demo? I think we're supposed to see what they're seeing, right? Are we just watching runners run? I don't know, guys. This is okay, so here's some of my real opinions. So one, I'm not too mad at the fact that the live demo went wrong. I think what sucks and what's going to be very bad is that everything went wrong. Nothing went right on their new product. And then they said it's up for sale on September 30th. They should have canceled the pre-orders and said, hey, we're not going to sell these until this works. Oh, I don't think that live demo worked. Okay. Yeah, they probably should have canceled and okay, yeah, it's fully done. Okay, I can close that. Like, I'm okay with companies trying something. I don't think that this type of product would come out without someone like Mark Zuckerberg really being able to push this many dollars and put the best talent on this product. And I'm not anti the ability or like the idea that this product ends up coming out. Display in my glasses. I'm a native glasses where it would be amazing for me, right? To be able to see messages come in The ability for it to have such amazing pixel density, extremely bright, like some of those things that we did end up getting to see looked good. Okay. The actual glasses, I mean, they look ridiculous. If someone walked into your restaurant and was like, "Hi, I'd like a cheeseburger, please," you'd be like, "What? Is this guy a spy? Like, this looks like a prank show. Like, get out of here." So I don't think that they look like real glasses. They look like something else, but it's better than what we've seen previously. It's not the Apple ski goggles that we've seen previously. Okay. It's getting better. 24 months from now, it's going to look great. And I think what we saw from the demo, the surfing demo where the girl, like, that's what they wanted to happen. That's what they wanted the chef to do during that presentation. So I'm not anti what will happen. I believe that what we saw in the demo will come out eventually, but it's not coming out on September 30th. Okay. You'll need months just to get through the bugs that they ended up showing, which does suck because you know what? They were probably like people said, hey, did they not test it? I'm sure they tested it 100 times. It just went wrong. Who knows? I thought the writing and everything that he did with his hands, like, what a great way to handle the voice problem that glasses are going to bring. But for real, are we going to be wearing a watch, a Whoop, an Oura Ring, glasses, sensor? Like, there's too many things going on our wrists. I mean, it looks like we're like going back in high school where we have like 1,000 bands on. I'm not doing that. So, you know what they have to do is create one of these bands or something that goes along with, like that's where Apple's going to see some advantages, is because they're already going to have the Apple Watch on your wrist. And so that's going to take up the same band that like is overlapping. So maybe if Meta can end up doing that, putting a smartwatch on the wrist that runs with Android, maybe they can partner with Google there. So you don't have two separate bands. I'm done with the bands. Too many bands. But still, it does look like it works well whenever he did the writing. That was the part of the demo. It went very well. Answering the phone call, the WhatsApp fully integrated, first party software. Yikes. It was, that was cringy. That was bad. But I don't think they announced price. They did. $800 USD. $800 USD, September 30th launch. Now, I don't think it's really for consumers. I think that's for developers to buy, similar with the Apple Vision Pro. But I do like that they're not launching new products and being like, yeah, these are $3,000. It's still even reasonable to buy something like this for $800. I mean, it's first of its kind. Apple should have followed along with that. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was about a 4.5. I think that that's a fair assessment. It definitely underperformed, but I think the stock is still green from after hours. Like, the market understands that they are closer to breakthrough technology than not, The last time that we saw the Orion glasses as a product idea to now, huge change. And that was like 6 months. Give it another year, we're going to see some massive advancements. Give it 24 months, you're going to really start seeing some really useful technology. Now, the metaverse stuff, I'm not anti as well. I just am too old to want to be a part of it at all. If I was a kid, like, hey, do I want to be fully immersed in my game or do I want to play Xbox? I mean, like, I would have been all over VR. But now, being an adult, I'm looking for like productive products, something that's useful. And me going and pretending to be a dinosaur or whatever and meeting up with my other friends, it's just not going to happen. So I'm never going to buy it. But hey, if they're all doing it on their own engine, they're not doing it with Unity, more of that becomes first-party software. Those things cannot hurt. If you're into it, cool. but not a lot of people, from my understanding, are on VR Chat or Horizon or whatever. Yeah. The Winklevoss twins are really laughing tonight. I don't know about that. I mean, it's still like, I don't think they're laughing. I think they're still looking at a $2 trillion company and they got like $100 million bailout or something. They're doing fine anyway. I mean, they got Gemini. They're doing great. Early Bitcoin investors, but it's not like they are happy with this demo. It's still up in the after hours, up 0.15%. Yeah. The movie stuff, that went on way too long. That could have been summed up with, hey, VR is a new way to experience a movie, the end. They did like a live podcast that I did not care about at all. Not a single part of it. But yeah, I agree. And then someone in chat brought up a good point, like how many people watch movies alone? And like, I do, but I'm not going to spend a ton of money to get the best equipment to watch a movie alone. But I've got no problems watching, like, putting on a movie. But movies are also very enjoyable with other people. Maybe that's done in the metaverse. I remember whenever I was younger on Xbox, there was a Netflix app, and they would put us in a theater, like a character in a theater, and we could invite a bunch of people, and it would run the movie at the same time for everyone. So then we could talk about the movie while the movie was playing. That was awesome. It was awesome. I've got such great memories of doing that with my friends online. If there's some way to do that in VR where we're placing, like we're just, in a virtual movie theater that is almost like the dome, like it's all around us in this, immersive environment, I could see how that could be a great time. But that's also expensive just to buy that. I don't know how many kids are doing that. Dating in the metaverse? Yeah, that's got to stop. Yeah, the running out clothes. What kind of live demo? Like, I think they were expecting that to be live streamed, what he was seeing. Is a live demo a cameraman following you outside? That's not a live demo. You guys are just a bunch of people wearing glasses. Meanwhile, Elon has the world's first gigawatt data center. I don't know if it's any different. Meta is going to have a ton of compute online. That doesn't matter. What's Elon doing with it? Creating waifus so then people can, ruin their romantic relationships and stuff like this. So I don't know. I think it's fine. Would this be our phones or just another thing that we buy? Yeah, I don't know if it's something that you would not use. If they do it right, I think that it could be an accessory to a phone. I think I'd rather have glasses in a phone over a watch in a phone. Like that's sort of the thing for Apple Watches is like, okay, well, it's real close if you just need to get quick, small information that can pop up on your phone. Well, that's what this would be, except you wouldn't even need to raise your hand. It would just message came in, mom says, call me. Cool. But the Vipers were cool. I thought that was interesting. I think they'll see a lot of sales on that. But yeah, let's give Amit a call. We'll get his rundown and go from there. No, he's not available. Okay. I'd rather have contacts. Yeah, but that's not... They don't have that tech yet. Yeah, I think in 24 months, I think this becomes very popular. Like the Meta Ray-Bans, whenever they first came out, were not as useful as they were today. And then some of the things that they did just talk about in improving the software that they currently have, live translation, which, you know, what's Duolingo doing right now? That one seems to react like crazy with these types of events. Well, it's up in after hours, 0.66%. That could also be rate cuts. It looks like everything is up in the after hours. Everything. Not everything. It looks like every US company is, that's for sure. Yeah, wow. What happened to the one Google made years ago? Google Glass many years ago was a canceled project. Now they have Android XR, which they're trying to roll out, which should be fun. Just go with Elon's Neuralink? No, I actually would prefer these glasses. I think they're much less intrusive. I can take off the glasses. But some people, I think, want to hate something so bad, and then they just like, there was someone in chat that said like, oh, wait until you sit on them. What? Okay, don't buy anything nice. Like, I mean, I've worn glasses my whole life. I've never just like, oh, you know what? I've just crushed them. Like, I don't know. It'd be like any piece of thing that you have to treat normally. Either they're on your face or put them on a desk or something. You don't put them on your couch cushions. So let's try to have some bit of optimism whenever you're judging these products. I'm sure they are prescription based. I think they had them with the existing Meta Ray-Bans, so I'm sure they'll be very similar with these new ones. They didn't make a comment about it though, but I can't imagine it's any different. Wait until you crush them with a hammer. Yeah, I mean. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from me. This was great. Boring at times, cringy at times, but the first hour of the stream was all about SoFi and the rate cuts and what I think about that and the rest of the Mag 7 names. So if you guys want any other stock information, stuff like this, go ahead and watch that. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. But bye for now.